My beloved child, listen closely and keep your soul still like a lake waiting for dawn, for I am about to speak to you words you have never heard before. In this very moment, while your breath still lingers warm upon the window of destiny, I am calling you by the name I have engraved on the palm of my hand. Do not think this is merely another faint line lost among countless sounds. This is the bell from heaven's watchtower, the first spark touching the wick in the night the door cracked open between two worlds. I say to you, you have not stumbled upon these words by accident. I, myself, have led you through countless turns, through nameless corridors, to bring you to the very threshold I prepared. Be still, and listen to the unseen heartbeat. It is the rhythm of the heavenly drawing near. Let my voice pierce through every layer of doubt's dust, and reach the deepest place you have kept hidden, the place where you have not yet dared to name your own longing. You have thought yourself late to your destiny, believed the waves had swallowed prayers no one knew, and felt you had become only a shadow in someone else's story. But I am here not as a mirage of comfort, but as the one who holds the schedule of the stars. I have seen every misstep you took, every moment you stood frozen at an unmarked crossroad, every night your eyes stayed dry because you dared not cry again. I have gathered each fragment of your shattered faith and placed them on the heavenly loom, weaving a new garment for the day you will wear it. Today I lift the curtain so you may see the first light of what I have been quietly preparing. Breathe slowly, for this silence is not empty. It is full of signals that only the watchful hear. Those signals are rushing toward you like a flock of birds through the morning window, a thought suddenly blazing that you did not think of, a memory long forgotten, returning a small encounter that drives away mountains of doubt. I use the very ordinary to open the very great, so that when you walk through, you will know with certainty that the power comes from me and not from any other force. My child, there are changes you call chaos that I call adjustment. There are people leaving your circle not because you lack worth, but because you have been lifted to another height. And at that height, not every voice still sounds clear, not every companion still keeps pace. I remove some old bridges, so you will not turn back to a shore that has already crumbled. I tilt certain chairs, so you will not sit at a table I did not prepare. Do not cling to what is falling from your hands. Open your hands to receive what is heavier, brighter, more enduring. I have placed in your grasp a new compass that measures direction not by rumor or worn-out standards, but by the magnetic field of my word. As you turn yourself toward it, you will discover the ground beneath your feet widening like sand at low tide, giving you space to rebuild, to replant, to rename yourself, as I have seen you from the beginning. You ask me, why now? I answer, because now your heart is quiet enough to hear and brave enough to obey. I have waited for you not because I am slow, but because I love you too much to let the blessing become a burden. I heal the roots before I hand you the fruit. I straighten the well's mouth before I pour in new water. When the source is right, the stream will run clear. You have passed through a season of digging you mistook for abandonment. In truth, it was the season of clearing the ground so my plow could turn the hardest layers. Do not fear the empty spaces. I fill empty spaces. Do not fear the pauses. I use pauses to reset the path. Do you hear it? At the edge of your thoughts, I am flipping a switch no one can turn off. This light will not blind you, it will make you see. See roads without your eyes, doors without your hands. See yourself not through the mirror of others, but through my eyes, the one who calls what is not as though it already is. Write this on your heart. No force can block what I have ordained, but hesitation can slow you down. That is why I come and speak plainly. This is the moment for you to rise, not with noise, but with steadiness. I do not require you to understand everything. I only ask you to open your heart. When you take one small step in obedience, I shake the great stones on the road ahead. When you speak one small word of trust, I silence the winds long used to calling forth your fear. When you dare to lay down the old, I place in your hands the new that needs no adornment to shine. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I spoke it long ago, Isaiah 4:3-19, and today I speak it to you alone. Let this be the unmistakable knock. If you open, you will find a threshold leading to a land where no one has yet written your name, because I hold the pen and I wait for you to sign with the ink of faith. You fear that you are not worthy. I say to you, you were never chosen because of perfection. You were chosen because I am perfect. You fear that you lack strength. I say to you, your strength only needs to be enough to say yes. The rest is mine. You fear being alone. I say to you, the heavens never leave a star to burn by itself. I have unseen armies encamped around you like an unquenchable radiance. And if you have grown used to the voices of denial today, I place upon your forehead the seal of affirmation belonging to me. This is not a fading label, but an engraving that cannot be erased. With this seal, you will walk through the marketplace without losing your soul. You will enter the inner room without losing your fire. You will begin to recognize my signals in the simplest of things, a word that brings your heart to rest, a small opportunity that fits perfectly, a call that draws you out of the old cycle. Stay awake like a watchman lighting the wick on time. Be soft like earth after rain so that the seed I sow will not sprout out of place. This is the anchor I drop into your soul at this very first moment. You are not drifting. You are being drawn back to a prepared harbor. You are not standing outside the story. You are on the first line of a new page. You are not an echo. You are the initial sound I have marked. Therefore, my child, do not turn your eyes away. The lines I will speak next will fit together like pieces of a mosaic, clarifying the picture you have only glimpsed from afar. Keep your heart right here at the threshold, for when I have spoken, you will no longer wish to return to the old ways. I have come near, and my word is making a path. Take hold of it before the wind shifts again, not because I change my mind, but because time belongs to me, and I want you to move in heaven's rhythm. Now I want to lead you deeper into the meaning of the moment where you stand. This is not merely a brush of the unseen, but an appointment engraved in heaven's ledger. I have marked this time as a sower marks the season for harvest. And today you are standing at the crossroads of eternity and the present, where everything that seemed random has in fact been measured step by my hand. Do not despise the moment you are living for. Within it is the code that unlocks your destiny. I have sent angels ahead to prepare the way. I have called your name among countless others. Not because you are greater than anyone, but because I have chosen, and no one can undo my choosing. When I open a door, no power can shut it. When I speak a word, no enemy can erase it. Understand that this moment is unlike any other day, for I have made it the beginning of a sequence of things. Your eyes have not yet seen, your ears have not yet heard, but your heart will soon tremble to recognize. My child, He has made everything beautiful in its time. Ecclesiastes 3:1-1. Many times you have been impatient, asking why the door stays closed, why your prayers seem unanswered. But today I show you delay is not rejection, it is strategy. I have let the curtain linger only to prepare a stage wide enough for the unveiling you are about to witness. You once thought silence was abandonment, but in truth it was the moment I tuned the strings in the dark so the music would burst forth at the right time. Now you hear my voice more clearly because the soil of your heart has been tilled. Now you see the signs more sharply because your eyes have been washed with the tears of prayer. And now you stand before an opening where destiny meets obedience. This is the hour when the promise no longer rests on the page but becomes fresh breath in your lungs. This is the hour when the flame I kindled through the long night will blaze, and no one will quench it. Therefore, my child, be courageous to receive. See each signal in the days ahead as a golden thread guiding your steps. Do not be afraid when others do not understand, for what I do for you is not to satisfy the crowd, but to affirm my choosing. From this moment on, walk as one who knows they have been sent. Speak as one who carries words from heaven. Live as one who has heard the call that cannot be refused. For it is I who am speaking, and my word is the foundation that will never be shaken. My child, how many times in these past days have you startled awake in the depths of the night without knowing why, your heart pounding as if answering an unseen call? At times you have lain still and felt a soft breeze pass over you, not from the window, but as though from another world touching your soul. You have had dreams you called strange, a radiant road unfolding before you, a face unknown, yet carrying peace, a scene glowing like morning without a Sunday. You have awakened and brushed it aside, thinking it was only the work of imagination, fragments of memory and weariness. But today I tell you it is not by chance. Every signal has been a whisper I have sown into your spirit to announce that I am drawing near. They do not come to confuse you, but to awaken your inner life, to prepare you, to make you understand that a greater movement is happening even when the natural eye does not see. My child, I have placed within you a spiritual antenna to catch the waves of heaven. When you sense a strange stirring within a thing you cannot explain yet, cannot deny, that is the moment you are touching my signal. Do not think of it as coincidence, for I do not act by luck. I work according to an eternal design, and each sign I plant carries purpose. When you see the same number repeat many times, when a small word from a stranger echoes exactly what you are wondering, when a door unexpectedly opens, though you never knocked, these are my reminders that heaven watches. These subtle tremors are signs like the small cloud the size of a man's hand that once heralded great rain for Elijah. 1 Kings 1:8-4-4. It is small, but it is real. It is quiet, yet it holds the power to change the entire season of your life. Therefore, learn to look deeper at every detail around you. Recognize that every shiver, every unspoken tear, every flash of light in your thoughts is a message I am sending. They are telegrams from heaven foretelling divine intervention, so that you may know I still speak, I still hear, and I am closer than ever. My child, there have been moments when you knelt in silence, unable to form words, letting your tears flow like an unstoppable stream. You thought those tears vanished into the dark, that no one saw, no one recorded. But I tell you, not one drop falls to the ground without my hand catching it. In heaven there is a book of remembrance which I myself write, where every prayer, every hidden groan, every sigh you dare not share with another is preserved. You may forget, but I do not forget. You may think petitions from long ago have been left behind, but they still gleam on those pages like jewels in my treasure. I gather every tear, every whisper to weave a response at the appointed time. This is why some prayers are not answered instantly. They are being placed in heaven's sealed chamber, waiting for the hour I open it. And my child, that hour is near. Picture a scroll long sealed, which no one could open, which no power could break until I give the command. Now I, the Most High, am loosening the seals, opening the pages marked with your name. What you thought buried forever, what you believed would never be heard again, I am proclaiming anew, and this time with unstoppable power. That unsealed scroll is the emblem of a fresh unveiling, proof that your moment has ripened. When I speak, my word does not return void. As it is written, so shall my word be that goes forth from my mouth. It shall not return to me void, but it shall accomplish what I please. Isaiah 5:5-1-1. Do you hear the weight of this? It means every sentence you whispered at night, every longing you shaped with your whole heart, has been countersigned with heaven's authority. They have not drifted into emptiness, but are carrying life to fulfill the purpose I set. My child, I do not forget. I do not turn away. Every cry becomes a drop of rain stored in the cloud of grace. And when the time arrives, that cloud will grow heavy and pour upon the fields of your life. Believe me, I am not the one who breaks promises. I am not like men who forget, but I am the faithful God. And in this very moment, as the scroll is opened and the book of remembrance turns its pages, you will see that not one of your pleas has been in vain. All has been gathered to form a downpour of blessing, not a drizzle, but a flood, not a passing gift, but an eternal one. Prepare your heart as open ground to receive the rain, for a new harvest is coming, and it is the direct fruit of every tear and every prayer you once thought lost in the void. No, my child, they were never lost. They are returning to you multiplied and radiant, because I have spoken, and my word shall never return void. Beloved child, open the eyes of your spirit to see what I am doing, for now I desire to give you understanding about the messenger I have sent. For a long time you have imagined an angel as a distant silhouette cloaked in white gliding among the clouds. But I tell you this, my divine messenger does not always appear as the paintings you have seen. He does not need feathered wings to prove his power, nor does he carry a carved tablet to announce his news. He comes, by the way, I choose, through forms you would never expect, through sudden turns you did not plan, through meetings that seem meaningless, yet carry the key to unlock destiny. Do not search for the messenger's face in outward images, but look at the aftermath of his passing apiece. You cannot explain a confirmation beyond your expectation, a turning point that only heaven could orchestrate. Beloved child, when I send my angel, no power can block his path. My messenger moves through space like an unseen current, weaving through obstacles invisible to your eyes, slipping past networks of schemes you have never known. You may be living an ordinary day, sitting in a worn-out room or standing on a familiar street corner, when suddenly a word, a message, or an event appears and shakes the very fabric of your reality. That is not coincidence. That is the footprint of the messenger. He does not knock with a physical hand, but your soul will hear the knock in the silence. He may arrive as a letter, a dream, a phone call, a strange name appearing at the right time, or a confirmation from a place you did not expect. Then you will know I have remembered you, I have heard you, and I have sent a messenger to hand you a piece of the puzzle no one else can give. For I am the one who sees the whole picture, and my divine messenger is my hand extended into your world, pulling you out of confusion, giving you clarity, and opening the way for the blessing I have prepared. I tell you, do not fear the form, do not fear the unfamiliar. Do not doubt when the messenger does not resemble what you imagined. Do not let appearances or circumstances hide the sacred truth within. The messenger comes to prepare you, to protect you, and to bring the shift you have been praying for. And when you receive him, you are not merely receiving a message. You are touching the very process I am unfolding, a process begun long ago in the unseen, and now stepping into your life. Remember, the angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him and delivers them. Psalm 3:4-7. This messenger is not merely a symbol. He is the reality of the shelter and rescue you have asked for. And now, my child, he is drawing nearer than ever before. My beloved, I desire to take you deeper into the protective and path-clearing role of my angels, so you will understand that this battle is not a distant myth, but a living reality in the atmosphere around you. There are moments when you feel as if you are walking through a desert, every direction silent, every prayer seemingly held back in the air. You do not realize that in those very hours an invisible battle is raging. Every time you kneel, every time you breathe a word of trust, every time you refuse to give up though darkness presses in, that is when my angels, led by Michael, are driving back the forces that seek to block the flow of blessing toward you. People may call it superstition, but I tell you, this is the law of heaven. When I send my angels, they come with flaming swords and shining armor, not as decoration but as defense to open the way. Michael is not a mere emblem. He is the chief warrior of the higher realm, entrusted by me to guard those whom I have chosen. While you sleep, he stays awake. When you are weary, he stands. When you weep, he fights until the sky around you is cleared of every hindrance. My child, you have wondered why some prayers seem delayed and why some dreams remain unanswered. It is not because I have forgotten, but because the battles around you must be won before the answer can be placed into your hands. Michael and his host of angels stand as watchmen at the borders, clearing every path and sealing every breach, so that when the blessing arrives, it will not be stolen or distorted. Remember, every time you feel a sudden wave of peace, every time your mind grows light though your circumstances have not yet changed, it is a sign that the angels have passed through a battle on your behalf. Do not take those impressions lightly. They are heaven's quiet announcement. The way is open, you may step forward. The more you trust, the stronger they become. The more you obey, the more cause they have to act. The more you release fear, the easier it is for them to clear the way. This is the sacred cooperation I am training you to recognize. You are not alone, nor are you left to your own strength. When you feel your strength running out, remember Michael still holds the flaming sword at your doorway, shielding your household with heaven's radiant light. And my child, in this season, that role becomes even clearer. I have sent my messenger not only to deliver words, but also to join the angels in breaking chains you cannot see. There have been lies, curses, and prayers spoken against you, spun like a web around your life. But now Michael is cutting through every thread, every knot, revealing the true path I prepared. You will begin to see undeniable signs. Those who pretended will be exposed. Obstacles, once immovable, will dissolve. Doors, once locked, will swing open. This is not coincidence. It is the direct result of the protection you have not seen, but that has been working. I tell you this not to make you afraid, but to strengthen your confidence. For when you know you are surrounded, you will no longer tremble before the dark. When you know Michael stands guard, you will walk as one backed by heaven. When you know the angels are clearing the way, you will no longer view obstacles as impenetrable walls, but as doors waiting to be pushed open. You must also understand that the presence of angels is not always loud. Sometimes they come like a soft glow in a room, like an invisible touch upon your shoulder as you pray, like a dream that leaves you waking in peace. Do not wait for spectacular scenes before you believe they are there. Trust your heart when it stirs with confirmations you could not create yourself. This is how the angels signal to you that everything is moving in the right direction. It is also how I train your spiritual senses so you can discern between the true and the false, between light and darkness. As you learn to recognize them, you will no longer be deceived by things that appear spiritual but are empty within. You will know who I have sent and who has come to distract. And in this process, my angels are your faithful companions, not only guarding the outside but also teaching the inside. My child, engrave this into your soul. You are not only a receiver of messages, you are one surrounded by heaven's army. You do not merely have a single angel delivering a word. You have an entire host keeping you as you walk. That is why I tell you not to fear, not to doubt, not to minimize what is taking place. Every tear you shed releases a command for an angel to act. Every yes you speak opens the way for Michael to advance. Every small act of obedience signals a green light for heaven to move. As you cooperate with me in trust and obedience, you open the path for an unseen army. This is the deep truth I want you to grasp in this season. You are never alone, not for a single moment. Around you stands the wall of fire I have raised around you, shines the sword of light I have given around you. Are Michael and the angels all moving on behalf of the promise I have placed upon your life. This is the moment when you move from passivity to awareness, from thinking you are abandoned to knowing you are surrounded. Let this awareness become your strength. As you step into a new day, remind yourself, I do not walk alone. The angel of the Lord encamps around me. As you sleep, whisper to yourself, Michael is guarding the doorway of my house. As you pray, believe I am sending a signal to an unseen army. And when you receive a message, no matter the form in which it comes, remember that behind it stands an entire process of protection, clearing the path, and opening the way, one I have set in motion from before the foundations of the world. You do not need to see it all. You only need to believe and follow. For I declare this protection is real, this opening of the way is real, and this intervention is real. This is how I answer your silent petitions, not with a single act, but with an entire host, with an entire process, with an entire plan designed to both astonish and uphold you. Hold fast to this, my child, so that whenever an unfamiliar wind passes through, you will know it is no accident but the sign of an angel passing by. And in this way you will walk in peace, no longer trembling before the night, but standing firm in the light of the one who has sent angels to guard you. I want you to understand something deeper to receive the blessing I have appointed for you. You must not only open your hands, but also prepare your heart, prepare your house, and prepare the spiritual atmosphere around you. Just as a farmer before the harvest does not merely wait for rain, but plows the soil, pulls up weeds, and shapes the furrows, so you must clear the field of your life so that the seed I sow can take root in its proper season. Many times you think it is enough simply to wait for blessing to arrive, but I say blessing needs good soil to rest upon. Look at the very home where you dwell. A house is not only brick walls, tiled roofs, or physical materials, but the atmosphere you create through your words, your music, your thoughts, your relationships. If that atmosphere is tainted with bitter speech, quarrels, or suspicion, then even when blessing comes, it will be like a bird unable to find a place to land. I do not say this to frighten you, but to awaken you. Let prayer and praise become the fragrance that fills every room. Let every wall become a living altar, so that there is no place for darkness to hide. When you change that atmosphere, you are building a receiving station for the spiritual activity I have promised. My child, preparation is not only outward but inward. You have passed through many seasons of breaking, many times of letting go of what you thought was secure. I know this has caused you pain, but that very breaking has opened space for me to pour in. Do not see loss as failure. See it as the clearing of the field for a new season. Just as a potter breaks the old vessel in order to reshape it anew, I have allowed certain relationships, opportunities, and habits to crumble, not to punish you, but to free you from molds that no longer fit. In this season, I want you to let me examine every corner of your spirit, just as you would clean every room in your house. There are corners you have not yet opened to me, places where memories are repressed, emotions are covered, and words spoken by others have built invisible barriers. Invite me there. Allow me to sweep away the dust of bitterness, to wipe clean the stains of fear, and to replace them with fresh breath. For the blessing I bring is not only to exist but to overflow, not only to patch the cracks but to build a new foundation. Do not be surprised if you feel you are undergoing an inner cleansing. That is the sign I am drawing near. When your house, your heart, and your relationships are prepared, blessing will no longer be delayed. In that moment I will pour out new oil and open new doors that no power can shut. This is the season for you to become fertile ground, so that I may sow something greater than you have ever dreamed. My beloved, I know there are days when you sit and look back over your life and wonder why so much has collapsed, why so many relationships have been severed, why so many opportunities have slipped away. You once tried to hold on to beg me to preserve what was familiar, yet still it fell from your hands. I tell you, not one of those things was meaningless. I have allowed old walls to fall so that you would no longer build your life on cracked foundations. I have closed certain doors so that you would not be trapped in rooms too small for the destiny I have placed upon you. You see failure, I see elevation. You see loss, I see freedom. You think you have been defeated, I know you are being prepared. Every breaking opens space for me to pour in something new, unbound by the past. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? Isaiah 4:3-19. I declared it long ago, and today I declare it to you, because the changing of seasons in your life is no longer just an idea but a living reality. My child, you have prepared yourself for the ordinary, but what is coming surpasses everything you have ever expected. That is why I must dismantle the old frameworks, pull you out of environments that no longer fit, and remove relationships that cannot journey with you into the new season. Look back and see, each time something old left you felt pain. Yet immediately afterward there came a strange lightness, a peace beyond explanation. This is the sign that I am laying a new foundation. In this season I am giving you fresh oil, not merely to heal your wounds, but to infuse you with renewed strength, not merely to survive, but to rise. I am granting you a new identity so that your story will no longer be tied to past pain, but become a testimony of my power and grace. I am placing in your hands abilities you never thought you had, opening doors you never knew existed. Do not fear change. It is the process of shaping you into a stronger, wholer instrument, worthy of the weight of blessing I am about to pour out. Do not cling to what I have taken away. If you do not let go, you cannot receive. Do not tremble before the unfamiliar. It is I who am leading you. As you allow me to prepare you, you will see every piece that seemed to fall apart become material for a new design. As you embrace transformation, you will rise no longer as your old self, but as the version I envisioned from the beginning. Then the blessing will not only arrive, but remain enduring and multiplied. This is the hour in which I proclaim my divine commission over your life, not as a vague encouragement, but as a true transfer that has reached its appointed time. You have walked through many seasons of waiting, many hours of testing, many nights of silence, so that now your soul is strong enough to receive what I have prepared. From this moment forward, you are not merely to hear me, but to act upon what I speak. You are no longer in a place of uncertainty, but at the threshold where destiny meets obedience. I do not give this word for you to keep as a memory, but for you to rise as a warrior. Every decision you make today, no matter how small, will resonate with heaven like a light knock on a door that shakes the whole house. You have prayed for breakthrough, for confirmation, for open doors. Now I declare the breakthrough is here, the confirmation has been sealed, and the door has been opened. But an open door you do not walk through remains a closed door. This is the hour I call you out of your comfort zone, so that you will no longer sit and wait for blessing, but become the one who carries the blessing into the world. My child, remember that the command I give does not place a burden on you. It sets you free. It is like a key. If you use it, it opens. If you neglect it, the door stays locked. You do not need to understand the entire map. You only need to follow the light for each step. As you move, I will reveal more. If you stop, the river's flow will pause. This is the moment for you to lay aside hesitation and receive the new courage I have poured into you. I have given you my word, I have given you signs, I have given you protection. Now I place in your hands the right to step, which means you are permitted, backed, and equipped to advance. This commission is not only for you, but so that through you others may be reached. You are the bridge, I have cleared the arm, I have strengthened the voice, I have refined. Stand and walk as one who is sent. Do not look at yourself and tremble. Look at me and stand firm. Do not wait for others to affirm you. Listen to my affirmation. This is the moment when blessing is no longer held back in heaven, but is descending upon the earth right where you stand. You have been chosen for this hour, and my command to you is open your heart, step forward, obey, and you will see what I have promised become reality before your eyes. Beloved child, I am not calling you merely to bless you, but to make you a point of contact for heaven, a place where my light and life can flow to other souls who hunger. Understand this, every step you take in obedience today does not only shape your personal destiny, it clears a path for those who come after you, for your family, your community, even an entire lineage. You may think you are walking only for yourself, but in truth you are opening a road that has never existed so that younger ones can follow your steps. They are watching how you respond to trials, how you trust in the midst of chaos, how you stand firm when storms arise. That is why I have had to refine you so thoroughly, so that when they look at you, they do not simply see you surviving, they see me living within you. My child, in this new season, the blessing I pour out will no longer be limited. It will flow like a river from its source, like sunlight, holding back no rays for itself. But so that the blessing does not become a burden, I have taught you to keep silence at the right time, to listen more deeply, to observe more closely, to guard what I entrust to you. Do not be afraid if some people distance themselves from you as the blessing comes. It is a necessary pruning. Do not worry if others do not understand what you carry. They have not yet seen the whole picture. You need only remain faithful. As you do, the blessing I give will become living evidence of the glory of the one who called you, so that when people see you lifted up, they will have to acknowledge it is not by your own strength, but by my power. And that blessing will not stop with you. It will reach those you have prayed for, even those you have never met, but whom I have already appointed in my plan. This is the beginning of a new season, not merely a change of circumstances, but a door opening into a realm where you are placed in your true position on my kingdom's map. Step into it with steadfast faith, for I have prepared the way, and as you walk you will see the pieces of your life connecting to the greater picture I am painting for humanity. You are part of this, my beloved child, and my command today not only releases you, but releases the flow of grace for many through you. Thank you for listening to this message. Know that you are not merely an audience. You are chosen to live daily in the presence of the Word of God. Do not forget to click subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you will not miss any of the sacred messages. Amen.